How many of you have had this fight at home saying, I want a puppy? Can I have a little hands, please? Awesome. How many of you have actually gotten a puppy after that fight? It's two hands, like 20 hands right after these. Like Indian parents always have these two standard comebacks, right? The first one is, इसका potty कौन साफ करेगा? And the second one is, तू एक जानवर हमारे लिए काफी है. और ये मतलब सदियों से नहीं बदला है, सेम कमबैक है, कभी नहीं बदला है. Thankfully, so I was 12 years old when I got my first puppy, and 12 years is when we have nothing else but a lot of confidence. Right? So I told my parents that, hey, I can take care of this puppy on my own. You guys don't need to worry about anything, because my parents are scared of dogs. So I said, I'm going to take care of this puppy, and I got this tiny, fluffy Labrador, 2-month-old puppy home. Yeah, this always goes. So we got this puppy home, and I named him Shadow. And Shadow became my best friend on day one. And when you get a puppy home and you're the only one taking care of it, it's almost like suddenly becoming a parent at the age of 12. Like, I don't know how many of you have watched Finding Nemo in this room, but you don't need to watch the movie to understand this. But Nemo's father holds Nemo close when he's born, and he says, I'm never going to let anything happen to you ever in your lifetime. And I'm not a good writer, so I never said that to him, but that's the closest I wanted to tell him when I got him home. It went lovely because we had a lot in common. So Shadow was the laziest dog on the planet. I am a lazy person. Shadow was gluttonous. He would eat 5 chapatis, 2 liters of milk, and 2 eggs for breakfast. My breakfast menu was pretty much the same. So we bonded really well. Well, everything was going really amazing until my summer vacations got over. So it was summer vacations when I got him in, and everything went perfect till that got over. Then the responsibility started dawning on me. There was tuitions in the morning, then I would go to school, then I would come back and again go for the tuitions. So I almost became a single working parent trying to handle this baby, right? And it was insanely difficult. There were days I forgot to give him a shower. One day I would forget to give him his zinc tablet. But I kept believing that this was enough. I was giving him enough care, and he's my baby, and I'm going to take care of him. And I lived in denial until this one day, Shadow just felt really sick. And I remember the doctor had to come home because he couldn't move. And I remember him coming and saying that, there's hardly any chance that this puppy is going to survive. Right? And I think that's when I came to the realization that I have to give this puppy up if I have to see it live. And my mom made that call. She called one of her friends were ready to adopt Shadow. And I have this scene clearly etched in my head of Shadow and his last memory at my home. So there is this red Hyundai action car. There is Shadow in the back. His face is outwards, his tongue is out, and he's looking towards me. And the car is driving away. And there's this puzzled look on his face as to why his human isn't sitting next to him as he's driving away. And that's the last memory of Shadow at home. Time went by, and time has this really annoying habit. How much ever you want to live in the loss of somebody, how much ever you want to live in that heartbreak for a longer time, give it a little while and it heals. I got new friends, I had a new life, I went on smoothly with my life, and I think a year and a half later, something triggered a memory of Shadow inside me. Now, I don't know if it was a film, I don't know if it was my friend getting a puppy, but I just knew that I needed to go see Shadow. And I was excited because I was seeing my old friend. And I got into the car and we were driving, and as the journey progressed, my excitement sort of converted into fear. And a lot of anxiety as to how is he going to take this. There are two options in my head which is getting highlighted now. So it's either he does not recognize me at all, or the second and even worse option, that he knows me and he hates me for giving up a friend. I remember reaching home, the place where he was. We got out of the car and it was dusk, so I could only see a silhouette of him. And he had grown to this huge Labrador. So it was a year later, he had grown to this huge dog. And then in the next moment, my heart sank because he started barking and he started pulling at his leash where he was tied onto the couch. We walked a little, Dad, Mom, and I walked towards him. And they all stopped at a certain point because he was going on aggressively barking and pulling at the leash. I was supposed to stop right there until Mom called her friend so that she would come out and sort of hold Shadow down so we would enter. But I didn't stop. I kept walking and I couldn't stop because I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was guilt saying, hey, it's okay, whatever you give me, I'm going to take that. Or I don't know if it was love for him and, that whole excitement of seeing him, but I kept walking. And I reached right next to Shadow. And everything went blank for a second. I could only hear muffled screams of my mom and dad in the background. And I could see a lunging dog coming at me. And I stood over there, and Shadow went. He just leaped across and he bent my arm. And he locked it in there. I think that's the first time in that entire journey that I smiled and I broke into a grin. Shadow was 6 months when we gave him away. The last memories that we had together was when he was teething. So when he was teething, obviously the idiot didn't love chew toys, he loved my hand. So I would sit cross-legged on the floor, he would come right out of my lap and he would start nibbling on my hand sort of when he was teething. This was just Shadow's way of telling me that, hey, I still remember you and we're still best friends. We stood there. I never ended up going inside the house. We just stood there. We hugged each other for about an hour, and then I said bye to him again. And this time it was me driving away from that car porch, and Shadow was standing there and looking at me. I've never seen Shadow since. That was the last time I saw him. Now, when I have told the story, you've heard the story, all of us have imagined the story from the lens of this 12-year-old sweet boy who has lost his puppy. And I think that's kind of selfish of me because I have never thought about it from Shadow's eyes. And now after all these years, life has put me in a situation where I have slipped into Shadow's shoes. So my dad, he just told us that he's going to leave home in May of next year to sort of go and travel and explore the world. And he doesn't want to leave anything behind. He doesn't want to leave a number, he doesn't want to leave anything else. He said, hey, I've got your number, if I need to get in touch with you, get in touch with you. And we all traveled across, all of us in the family. It's just dad who was always staying at home, taking care of everything. So I think it's time he left too. But he's the one who taught me to keep people alive. It's this amazing trick of keeping people alive through stories. I've kept Shadow alive like that. I never thought there'll come a juncture in life where I need to keep him alive through my stories now. So this one is for my dad, and with a promise to him that I'm going to start writing stories about us and living them through my stories. So I'm never going to miss you again. Thank you.
I look like a stern person, and I will remain stern if you don't like, subscribe or share our story and our channel. But if you do these things, I can be very friendly and give you a creepy friendly smile.